going on, everybody? Ryan and back for another reaction video. This time we'll be reacting to the top 10 best female fighters in the UFC 2017. This is another top 10 by MMA Release One. Probably the best top 10 channel for any MMA, UFC type stuff. So if you enjoy that type of stuff, make sure to go check him out. Other than that, let's just get right into it. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Number 10. Rose Namajunas is the number 4 ranked strawweight in the UFC. She is 24 years old and has 3 wins and 2 losses in the UFC. She last lost to Karolina Kowalkiewicz by a split decision at UFC 201. She is a super talented strawweight who has the potential to become champion one day. She is very young in the sport and has plenty of time to develop her skills. I believe with another 2 or 3 solid wins, she will be ready to challenge for the title in 2017.
I wouldn't mind seeing Rose versus Joanna.
Joanna Champion is the number 4 ranked bantamweight in the UFC. She's 27 years old and has 4 wins and 1 loss in the UFC. She last lost to Valentina Shevchenko by submission via an armbar in the second round. At UFC on Fox 23, she has very high-level grappling skills and has given her opponents a lot of trouble inside the octagon. She mainly relies on her grappling and her pressure to achieve the victory. I think with the win or 2, she'll be right back in title contention in 2017.
She's ranked like number 3.
Number 8. Claudia Gadelha is the number 1 ranked strawweight in the UFC. She is 28 years old and has 3 wins and 2 losses in the UFC. She last defeated Courtney Casey by a unanimous decision at UFC Fight Night 100. She has already fought the current champion Joanna Champion twice and has lost to her both times. I believe her overall skill set will help her put together a winning streak and will eventually challenge for the title once again. She is a highly talented fighter who has the potential to hold the UFC strawweight title one day.
One day.
Number 7. Michelle Waterson is the number 7th ranked strawweight in the UFC. She is 31 years old and has 2 wins and no losses in the UFC. She last defeated Paige Van Zandt by submission via a rear naked choke in the first round. At UFC on Fox 22, she has held the Invicta FC atomweight title and has faced one of the top atomweight fighters in the world. She is a high-level martial artist whose experience facing high-level fighters will definitely play a big factor in helping her eventually win a UFC title.
Who else will be on here? Holly, Cyborg.
Ronda Rousey is the former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion and is the number 3 ranked bantamweight in the UFC. She is 30 years old and has 6 wins and 2 losses in the UFC. She last lost to Amanda Nunes by TKO in the first round at UFC 207. At one point in time, she was one of the most dominant champions in the UFC. Whilst as the champion, she had defended her title 6 times, impressively, before suffering her 2 losses. She helped build women's MMA, and I believe if she puts together a winning streak, she will definitely be in line for another title shot. Number 5. Holly Holm is the former UFC Bantamweight Champion and is the number 2 ranked Bantamweight in the UFC. She is 35 years old and has 3 wins and 2 losses in the UFC. She last lost to Valentina Shevchenko by a unanimous decision at UFC on Fox 20. She has a high-level background in both boxing and kickboxing and has displayed great striking techniques inside the octagon. She has decided to move up to the newly formed UFC Featherweight division and will face Jermaine Durandamy at UFC 208 for the vacant UFC Featherweight title. If she is successful in winning the title, she will become the first female fighter ever to have ever held 2 titles in 2 different weight classes. Number 4. Valentina Shevchenko is the number 1 ranked bantamweight in the UFC. She is 28 years old and has 3 wins and 1 loss in the UFC. She last defeated Juliana Pena by submission via an armbar in the second round at UFC on Fox 23. She has a high-level background in both kickboxing and Muay Thai and has displayed her well-rounded game very well inside the octagon. She will likely face the last person to defeat her, the current UFC bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes, later this year. Number 3. Chris Cyborg Justino is the current Invicta FC Featherweight Champion. She is 31 years old and has 2 wins and no losses in the UFC. She last defeated Lena Landsberg by TKO in the second round at UFC Fight Night 95. She was recently flagged by USADA for failing her out-of-competition drug test due to a diuretic in which she used to cut weight for her catchweight fights last year. She may likely be suspended this year, but once she is cleared to return, and with the new UFC Women's Featherweight division, it will only be a matter of time before Chris Cyborg can finally call herself a UFC champion. Number 2. Amanda Nunes is the current UFC Bantamweight Champion. She is 28 years old and has 7 wins and 1 loss in the UFC. She last defeated Ronda Rousey by TKO in the first round at UFC 207. She has looked like a terrifying force inside the octagon, mauling just about everyone she has faced. She is an aggressive fighter who possesses very heavy hands and has the ability to finish the fight with only a few strikes. I believe we haven't seen the full potential of Amanda Nunes, and I believe she may hold on to the title for a very long time. Number 1. Joanna Champion is the current UFC strawweight champion. She is 29 years old and has 7 wins and no losses in the UFC. She last defeated Karolina Kowalkiewicz by a unanimous decision at UFC 205. She has faced all of the top UFC strawweights and has put together 4 consecutive title defenses. She has completely outclassed her competition using a high-level Muay Thai and has looked just levels beyond her competition. Her overall game is complete and her striking skills are one of the best in the UFC. I believe her constant improvement with each fight will help her hold on to the title for a very long time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by a lot of that list. One person that might have been missing was Jessica Andrade, who will probably be the next woman to fight Joanna for the belt at the 115 division. So other than that, I don't know if Michelle Waterson should have went above Claudia Gadelha or who's the other one? Number 10. Let's go back and check real quick. Or Rose, because, I mean, they both have bigger wins than her. Michelle's biggest wins against Paige, I'm pretty sure, and that was just now. And Paige, she's a big name, but she's not one of the best in the strawweight division. I want to see like Rose versus Michelle as like a number 1 contender fight or something like that, or maybe even Carolina again, so Carolina can try and get her spot back. One more rematch. The bantamweight division, it's got some good girls in it that could challenge Amanda, but Amanda's just kind of like here, and then everybody else is like seeming like then there's Valentina and maybe Holly Holmes in there too, but like everybody else is just kind of below that right now. It seems like, especially with Ronda leaving and Misha leaving, or at least Ronda seemingly leaving. And obviously Cyborg, I knew that she was going to be on there. And probably by the end of 2017, she will, if I was predicting, I would say she'd be the women's featherweight champion. And probably number 1. So that is going to do it. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Make sure to go check out MMA Release for the Detroit video. Other than that, you can check out my links to my gaming channel in the description below. Go over and subscribe there. Subscribe to this channel first before you go anywhere, because the red button's right there. So I don't see why you wouldn't. And other than that, Twitter, Instagram, down in the description. Follow me. And that's going to do it. Peace out, everybody.